What's up, and welcome to episode 301 of First Geek 411. I'm your host, Cameron Franklin, and with me as we talk Project Hail Mary, Firefly, Expedition 33, and Wonder Man, all the way from West Coast, Best Coast, is Emma. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good on this beautifully toasty, the high of 80 degrees day here in California. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing good. We were just chatting pre-stream. Like, it was a crazy day at work today, and so I am excited to be here and chatting geeky things. Definitely the great star, like gold star at the end of a work day.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
definitely glad that today is a news day and not a dagger heart day, which of course people can
Yeah.
find over on our channel. And that channel is First Geek 411. You can find us all around social media. You can join our Discord server to hang out and chat. Where we're chatting, like Crimson Desert has been one of the recent ones. Also, of course, some chats about Project Hail Mary and things like that as well. And all kinds of other geeky discussions going on. And so you can also shoot us an email at 1stgeek411 at gmail.com. Watch live on Twitch Monday nights around 7:30 Central Time on both Twitch and YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, um, follow, all that kind of stuff at the various platforms. We appreciate any and all help getting things out there. And then you can also, over on YouTube, find all of those VODs, such as spoiler casts, book clubs, and, of course, our Daggerheart actual play, where we have entered Tier 4 play, and we'll get to
Woo.
experience that next week. And so, but yeah, before we get into our news, like we always do, let's jump into what we have been up to the past couple weeks. Emma, what have been your favorite things?
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of arts and crafts the past couple of weeks. Crochet. I've been making fun little patches out of old t-shirts for people because I have old
Okay.
t-shirts that I need to do stuff with. Um and I was like I might as well just turn them into patches for things because that's fun and that's a good way to recycle old clothing. Um I've been hand sewing some stuff. I've just been doing lots of arts and crafts here and there while I've been watching TV and things. That's been a lot of fun. I like making things. Arts and crafts are fun. Very generic, very like sometimes I have things that I need to get done arts and crafts wise. So I've been working on a blanket for my nephew. That is like the big thing I'm working on. Um, and then there's other times where I'm just like, this sounds like fun, hand sewing something or whatever. So that's been a good time. Um, on Friday, I had a magic night with my friends.
I saw your pictures. I was excited.
Yeah, played some magic. Uh, One of my friends' boyfriend had it's one of those packs that you can get where it's you open the things, you build a deck, and then you play against other people. I forget what the word is, but like
Like a pre release kit?
a, it might be a pre-release kit, something along those lines where you get like six people and you like it comes with enough cards where you all get to
Oh,
open
yeah, okay. It's one of the new
foils or
draft
whatever.
products. Okay,
Yeah,
yes, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So my friend's boyfriend had one of those, and so we all got together and um, played this. It wasn't Commander. It was a like a 40 card deck or something instead. It was a lot of fun. It was my first time stepping back into Magic after a while off. So it was a fun time, great practice. Lots of fun. We all just hung out and had a good time. My continued phrase for Magic is I'm here for a good time, not a
Yep.
long time.
Yeah.
Like, I never expect myself to win because I know I'm not going to. So I just play for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Um, and
Fun of the
that I've
game.
found fun of the game, and I that I've found has helped me enjoy it a lot more because I do tend to be a bit of a competitive person. So when
Hmm.
it comes to Magic specifically, I just tell myself, you know what? I'm here to have fun, not to win. And
Hmm.
I end up having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. I didn't get to try out my pirate deck that time because we got there a little later than expected. But I do think we're gonna start doing like Magic nights a little more frequently that are not
Nice.
on Tuesdays because that overlaps with Cantrip. And
Hmm.
I like to do one social event a work day.
Yes.
Um,
As
that is my
someone who's an
introvert rule.
extrovert, yeah, I
Yeah.
as an extrovert who has tried to multiple social events per workday, do not
Yeah.
recommend.
No. My and I've told my friends this essentially is I have a one social event per workday rule. If you try to ask me to do more than that, you're gonna get a
No.
no. Um, so and normally they play on Tuesdays, and I'm like, I would rather go to Cantrip and hang out. For those people who don't know, Cantrip is where I play D&D. If I'm not playing, I go to sit and listen and watch while I do arts and crafts. That is my social event of the day on Tuesdays, and I'm not doing anything else because that is easy. I get to walk and it gives me
Hmm.
exercise. But we might do a couple more Magic nights that are not on Tuesdays, which is great because I've been wanting to play more. And that's a lot of fun. And it's great. And then the big thing for the past, literally since Thursday to today, so 5 days, 4 days, whatever day of the week's
Whatever
math
time
is,
is.
whatever time is, my entire life has been occupied by Project Hail Mary. I was vaguely aware of it coming out, last week. I knew it was a movie, science fiction in space with Ryan Gosling, and that it was an adaptation from a book written by Andy Weir. And then a friend of mine sent me a TikTok about it, literally on Thursday, going, "We should go see this when it comes out." It came out on Friday. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? But I also have this rule, personal rule, slash acknowledgement, that if I go see a movie before I read the book, I'm never gonna read the book. So I might as well just read the book first and then go see the movie. Um, because if I do it the other way around, I'm never gonna read the book. So I'm like, well, I saw the movie. What's the point of reading the book? So my friend sent me this TikTok and was like, we should go see this when it comes out. It looks really good. And I was like, great, challenge accepted. And then I got the book on e-reader. I got the ebook on Nook, um, because I have a Barnes and Noble's card or whatever. And I got it at 6 p.m. and I was done with it by Saturday morning. So I got it Thursday night and I finished it Saturday morning. And I was like, I was not expecting to love that book so much. It's so good. Hey, when are we gonna go see the movie? It's so good, I can't stop thinking about it. And my friend was like, we can just go see it tonight if you want. And I was like, yes, we're gonna go see Project Hail Mary. And so we saw it on Saturday night. And I literally finished the book, turned around and went and saw the movie. And it was such a good movie. I'm going to talk about it later because we've got news for it.
Yeah, we'll have
But
news, and then Emma will give a more like spoiler-free review later on.
yeah,
Uh,
my
I
review right now
was
is it's so good.
I was on my phone while you were talking because I was looking this up for my local library for just my suburb. It is a 4 month hold for Project Hail
Yep.
Mary. Just
Yep.
just for that local, like we're not even talking like giant citywide library, like just a suburb library, 4 month hold.
Yeah. It is such a good book and such a good movie. That's all I will gush here if I say any more than that, but
Mm-hmm.
we've got a whole bullet point for it. Um,
Yep.
but I had a great time. I haven't finished a book in under 2 days in years.
Yep.
And I sat down to read this book and was just like, it's done. I started it a day and a half ago and I've finished it already. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah,
For
that's
my
been my weekend.
other library card, I always think this is interesting. People may not care. Which is the Houston Library, technically open to anyone in Texas. If you have a Texas ID, you can get a Houston Library e-card. Shout out to your local libraries. They have 31 copies of the book, and there are 640 people waiting. And so
Yeah.
that's 21 people per copy, which, assuming they each take 2 weeks, is 40 weeks until the book is available. That's insane.
This book has been out for a couple of years at this point.
Yeah.
It is a huge deal. It like people the word is spreading, to say the least.
So very cool. It's on my to read list, hashtag eventually. And so
I think you would really
Houston,
like it.
yeah, it seems really cool from what I've heard about it. I obviously love sci-fi.
Yeah.
And so
Did you read The Martian?
No, I never read it.
Did you see the movie?
I
If
have
you
seen
liked
the
The
movie,
Martian as a movie,
and so
then you would like this. This is much more humorous than The Martian.
oh, okay,
But it's like the same energy, same vibe.
nice.
So
I love that. Yeah, I want to get to it eventually. It's a series that, like, honestly, I mean, it's not that I didn't think. It's not that I thought the opposite of this, but honestly, I didn't even know the author of The Martian had written other books. Like, I assumed he had, but like I hadn't like looked into it. And so when people
Project
were
Hail
talking
Mary,
about it,
this was one of those books that like I was vaguely aware, like a couple of months before the book came out, I was vaguely aware that he was coming out with another book. And I was like, oh, the synopsis for that sounds kind of fun. I should remember to read it when it comes out. Completely forgot it existed until like literally 4 days ago. And I was like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember that. Thinking I should read it because I liked The Martian. I should read it. And here we are, me having binge read a book for the first time in a while. So, yeah, that's been my life.
nice. Keeping it in the realm of sci-fi, I have a book recommendation for everyone. It's one I just finished. I forget how I came across it, but it had been on my TBR, and it was another book that had a bit of a hold at the library. And that is The Blighted Star by Megan E. O'Keefe. It is one, like I said, I literally finished it Saturday. No, I finished it Sunday, like literally finished it yesterday. That's right. I finished it right after stream. And so I definitely recommend it. It's a very cool, like, premise, which is basically we're far in the future, and humans now possess the ability to essentially make artificial bodies for themselves. And so you can like basically download your consciousness into a new body. Now, bodies are really expensive, so it's not like you can just infinitely do this. Then like every time that you die, there's a chance that your brain could crack and then you could go crazy and then you can no longer be brought back. So like mortality is still a thing. It is just people are now like hundreds of years old because they can basically continually reprint themselves as long as the conditions of their demise are not traumatic. And so it centers around an expedition to this planet because we've discovered hyperspace fuel, but unfortunately it is only found in a substance that is on habitable planets. And so you have to mine out those planets. They call them cradles. And then there's also this side effect of doing them. Of doing this, and that's that this weird fungal growth begins to grow and kill all other life on that planet. And so, and so the main character is a trans man who is like the heir of like the mining family, or not heir, he's the second child of like the most powerful family like in the mining, and he's basically going to disprove that the mining causes this fungal growth to happen. And then some stuff goes wrong on the ships, and what should happen, but oh no, this terrorist who has been trying to prove that the mining does cause these problems gets reprinted into somebody else's body. And so now they have to team up and figure out what's going on as you have this like who is who, what's going on type story.
Yeah.
There's also a slow burn romance in this, and it's a really fun book. I really liked the vibes. It is a bit long, I will say. I think the audiobook was like 18 hours. And so there were definitely some of those middle chunks that it felt a little long. Going back to the OG book club review score of a book is either a third too short or a third too long. This one felt a third too long.
Yeah.
But it was very good, and I did really enjoy it. And so it's a definite recommend from me for people, especially if you like sci-fi. Tying into the next thing that I have been up to, this will also definitely inform some of my prep for our Coriolis campaign that we do have coming up after we finish Daggerheart. And so I have purchased the campaign that we're going to be using as our outline, and we'll see how far like off the beaten track y'all go and stuff like that. But for the core of the campaign, we're going to be doing the published campaign, The Flowers of Algarab, I think is the pronunciation. And so really excited for that. My physical copy is supposed to arrive tomorrow, and so I love very space. Excited. Yeah,
space is so cool.
Yeah, I am so hyped. This will be my first time, like, and this is probably true for you as well, I would guess. This is my first time playing a space TTRPG for a campaign. I've played at a convention, like one shot of Starfinder. It was one of like the Starfinder Society missions. So like I've played that, but I haven't actually played in a sci-fi campaign. And then I GM'd like a one shot of Lancer, but that didn't feel like a space game. It felt like a mecha game. Like we didn't go into space, even though that is part of that lore. It was just on a planet. And so, whereas for this, like y'all will actually be like exploring and traveling to different planets and doing different things. And so I'm so excited for this to actually like feel sci-fi in a way that those like one shots didn't.
Yeah. As I mentioned this in the Discord group chat we have already for this. But A, I'm super excited. B, I want to make the most Star Wars-y feeling character that I possibly can for this campaign, just because when I think about science fiction in a TTRPG format, I think of something like Star Wars, of like, that feels like a movie concept that could have originated as a TTRPG campaign, and it would make total sense. Like, if I knew nothing about Star Wars and someone told me that, you know, based on a synopsis, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that seems like something
I'm excited to pull some shenanigans.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to play Jan alone as your smuggler. Yeah. And so it should be a great time. I'm very excited. And the more that I have prepped for this, the more excited I get about this system. And so, which like I picked up the core rule book at PAX Unplugged, thinking it looked really cool, and we had like high level been talking about like obviously Daggerheart's not going to go forever, as we were like 3 months longer than I anticipated Daggerheart going, but here we are. And so like I picked it up like thinking it looked cool, thinking about maybe running some for my local Marvel group, and then like the more I read, the more I was like, this is going to be super interesting for us to do. And so, and then again, high level reading the campaign. I hate reading PDFs on the computer. So like I admittedly haven't read a ton, but I read some of the high level stuff just so I could get my notes started. And I am so hyped. And so be looking for that soon. We have like a rough target date, but we won't share that until we actually get things finalized, since we want to make sure Daggerheart has time to breathe. And so we'll announce that as we get going. And then TTRPG World, I played D&D for like the first time in like a year and a half. Like, I
Nice.
haven't
That's a
played.
long time for
Yeah.
proper D&D.
Like, I don't think I have played since before the new rules.
Mm-hmm.
So like, so maybe even like longer than a year and a half. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
um, and so it has been quite a while since I've played actual D&D. I was going to be in a campaign. That campaign ended up going on pause, and so that's part of why I haven't played. Oh, speaking of which, um, I need to send you the concept for my character because they're
Please.
amazing. And
I
so,
love getting character concepts.
so I'll send that over to you. I'll just say that you will appreciate this. He is an accidental druid. And so
Yes.
I'll explain to you what the vibe is there, and I'll send you the Hero Forged mini that I made as I tried to help visualize the character. And so
I'm excited for this
um,
accidentally a druid.
yes, and so yeah, so I'll get that over to you. But yeah, so I played. This was Varoth ran this game. It's intended to be a one shot. It ended up that he had a bit more planned than we had time for, so we took a pause, and then we're going to be finishing it this weekend. And doing it, the one shot has become a two shot,
Hmm.
as I feel like a lot of times there's the tendency to do, and so
Yeah.
very excited. I am playing a. I think I mentioned this last time when we had talked about it. I ended up playing my ranged rogue, who is all about sneak attack. Um,
Yeah.
and she's based on an NPC from a one shot that I created. And so the idea
Nice.
being that like I threw this together for a different one shot I took part in, where basically in the one shot I have made that I've like helped there's people that have always been like, oh, I want to play D&D, but I don't know where to start. It's my default like let's introduce you to the game one shot.
Yeah.
She's an NPC that's like a captain of a ship, as an Air Ganassi rogue, with the idea being that like she can use levitate to like float around the ship and shoot at things.
Nice.
And so um, and so I like fell in love with that character concept. Plus, I just love Ganassis, and so that's my like. You play druids, I play Ganassis, and so um, I have like kind of fleshed that out and like statted her out in a different way since none of that was necessarily figured out as part of the one shot. And so it's been
Hmm.
super fun. Um, Although it's crazy going from running Daggerheart, where feel like I have so much going on when we're in combat, just with all of the different enemies and like all of that stuff. And this would be true if I was GM in any other system. But like then going to Daggerheart where I'm a player and all I have is like, oh, what's my one character's like? What do I do? Like that's all I got. I'm like, oh, this is so much different of of like time when it comes to combat. Of like, no, I'm just vibing. Oh, it's my turn. I shoot them. like,
Yeah.
and so I'm having a lot of fun with that. And so I'll report back in 2 weeks on how it went. Um, And then last thing, I'm not going to say a ton about this here, but on Saturday I did go to a Lorcana tournament, the Diet Coke Invitational, hashtag not sponsored. Don't tell Coca-Cola Foundation or whatever, because but it's a very fun local to DFW Lorcana tournament where the cost of entry is a 12 pack of Diet Coke. And so over on Cameron plus Deanna, I did a full breakdown of my 7 rounds at the tournament. I did end up 25th out of 83 players. And so I talked through the decks, the matchups, all of that kind of stuff, and have a good time going through all of that. So if you're interested in hearing me gush about Lorcana, you can go check it out over on Cameron plus Deanna. And so, but that is what we have been up to. Let us know what you have been up to, either in the Twitch live chat or in the YouTube comments. And Emma, if you're ready, let's jump into the news for this week. What do you got for us? You're muted.
I was because I had a cough and then I forgot to unmute. Um, Firefly. That's the first thing we've got. This is a follow-up to a couple of weeks ago when we were getting teases for some kind of
Hmm.
announcement. Here is the follow-up to that because we now have the announcement. Firefly is getting or has in the works a an animated reboot, which is very exciting. I don't remember what I said my predictions were for this announcement. But this is a fun, exciting thing for a rather iconic piece of nerd history.
Hmm.
Um, for anyone who doesn't know, this was a one season show that got canceled before it could finish its story arc. So it got a couple of movies. It got either one or two movies. I don't
I think one
remember.
movie.
One movie. So it got one season and one movie. The movie was like crowdsourced essentially to finish up the storyline. Um, and it's like just a very well loved piece of nerd history. Um, so the news that we got was that there's an animated series in development. Um, Pretty much the entire cast is returning except for one individual who passed away in 2016. This is in a different article that I linked to, um, or did not link to. So that was Shep. His actor passed away in 2016, so he is obviously getting recast. Someone else is taking up that character. But it's very cool, very exciting. Um, yeah, I don't have much to say on that other than this is the follow up with the news for the thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
Very
I
cool,
didn't
very fun.
update the image, but we did get an image of like the rough character designs for them in animated form. And like as someone who, like I said last time, like I've seen Serenity, but I haven't seen the actual show.
Yeah,
The design for the animation looks really cool. Like
yeah,
I like the art style that they've gone with. It's like the characters standing next to each other, similar to what they're doing in the picture that we have. So it's not like
yeah.
in motion, but like it looks cool from what we've got. Um, and so I'm hopeful because I believe they're trying to get a network to like a streaming platform to pick them up. And
Yeah.
so hopefully we can get that and then have some cool stuff. And I know obviously all the Firefly people are chomping at the bit for anything to do with this IP. So
Yeah. It's definitely one of those IPs where the general fan base and a lot of the production are on the same page of like this show was unnecessarily canceled before it had the chance to even properly take off in the moment. So really there's just been a consensus for years of like any kind of real conclusion or chance to do it better is better than nothing. Because you always get the conversation when a show is canceled of like,
mm-hmm.
oh, it didn't get the chance to live up to its fullest potential or whatever. Firefly is definitely one of those shows that did not actually get to live up to its full potential because again, one season, and
Mm-hmm.
then the movie that exists again, I'm pretty sure it was like crowdfunded to some extent to be able to finish the plot line because it was like they didn't get the chance to do it well. Um, so it's cool to see that they're getting something, um, even if no one has picked it up properly
Mm-hmm.
yet. So that's fun and exciting and a great time. And I'm excited for people to experience that when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Okay, the other thing that I have already talked about to an extent, Project Hail Mary. I will do a minor spoilers-free review. Um, Mind you, I read both the book and watched the movie um, this weekend, basically.
Should
Um,
tell you something about how she. Yeah.
it should tell you something about how much I loved the story. I went into it with very neutral thoughts or opinions and came out of it having a new favorite book and a new favorite movie. Um, what I will say, so typically, the general book to screen adaptation is the movie or the TV show is never as good as the book,
Yeah.
right? That is it's like very rare that the screen adaptation is as good as, if not better than the book. This is one of those weird situations of like the book is here and the movie is like right under it. So it's like almost perfect as an adaptation. Unless you've read the book, in my humble
Okay.
opinion. My take on this, my stance on this, is that the movie is a better experience if you've read the book, in the
Hmm.
sense that it is as perfect as the book if you've read the book, which sounds weird.
Yep.
But the thing is, what the book does well, the movie skims over. And what the
Hmm.
movie does well gets lost in the book. So
Okay.
basically, each thing's failing is the other thing's success.
Oh.
So the
Okay.
book does the science talk specifically super well, and there's great humor in it, but the humor often gets lost in the science if you get confused by the science. You have to be able to follow the science in order for some of the humor to make sense. The movie tends to glaze over a lot of the science because otherwise you're just sitting there having some random dude on the
Hmm.
screen tell science to you. You
Yeah.
don't go to the movies to have science told to you. But it does the humor really well. And because the science in the book gives you a lot of perspective into what the cast of characters is dealing with, you get a lot more of an understanding of what the stakes are. You don't get that as quite as much in the movie because they glaze over the science a bit, but it's a fun movie and a joyful movie. So the movie is much more enjoyable if you've read the book because you understand the stakes a lot better from all of the science technobabble in the book.
Hmm.
So it's like the book is here and the movie's like right under here if you haven't read the book, but it's like even on quality
Nice.
level if you've read the book, if that makes sense. That's like,
Hmm.
I'm trying to explain that without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
That being said, fabulous, fabulous adaptation. Um, so much humor. Ryan Gosling, I have never liked Ryan Gosling very much, just in general, for whatever reason I can't
Shots
explain.
fired, Ryan
I
Gosling.
really like Ryan Gosling now. Like, I finally understand the hype around Ryan Gosling, and it makes sense. He did a very good job in the role of Ryland Grace, and yeah, he gets kudos from me um, for this movie. I have numbers to give you for this movie.
Let's do it. Let's get into those
Um,
numbers.
I love the numbers. Uh, so Project Hail Mary, set in space. The Earth is the Earth itself is not dying. The sun is dying. General synopsis,
Yeah.
and he is tasked with fixing the problem. Um, this movie worldwide box office for opening weekend, which was this weekend, hit $140 million at the global box office with a budget of $200 million. So it is good chunk of the way. It is over half the way to its
Hmm.
budget on opening weekend alone, which is a really good sign for a
Hmm.
movie and in the box office that's going to be there for a while. It's going to meet and beat its budget very quickly. Um, it made, let's see, it was $80 million in the US alone, or North America, and it's the largest debut of the year. So it is the best performing film in opening weekend of the
Hmm.
year so far, which is great. So it's ahead of Scream 7. Uh, and yeah,
And I've seen a lot
it
of praise
has,
for this as a non-IP. Like, of course, like
yeah,
The Martian is is a very big, like, popular book. It obviously had a
yeah.
movie spinoff, but like this is not like a direct continuation, as far as I'm aware.
No,
This is, but
it's
and this is not
the
like,
only connection is the author of the book.
yeah,
It
and
is
like I think that's super cool too.
literally, yeah, It is literally both The Martian and Project Hail Mary. The only thing they have in common is they both come from books written by Andy Weir.
Yeah.
So another fun fact: The Martian originally wasn't even a book. It was like an online story that he was publishing. It was either online or it was like in a magazine or something.
Oh, cool.
And it was so popular that it got reprinted and reformatted and printed in a book. So it was a similar situation to Treasure Island, which was a series of
Hmm.
snippets put in a
Yeah.
magazine. The Martian
Yeah,
was the same scenario.
but was The Martian in a financial magazine aimed at kids?
No, but the concept is there. The
Yeah.
general concept of like a story written in chunks released on
Hmm.
some platform that is built to release stories in small chunks.
Yeah.
That was how like someone discovered it online, and Andy Weir got a movie offer and a publishing offer at the same time for The Martian. That kicked off his popularity. He wrote two more books, essentially Project Hail Mary being one of them, um, which also got a huge following as a book and now has a movie, which is doing insanely well.
Yeah.
Um, so, oh, it gives me the numbers for The Martian. Wow. The Martian ended its global run in the theaters with 630 million globally, not adjusted for inflation, in 2015. Um, so that alone is a good sign for this having the connection to Andy Weir as the author of the source material. Um, Another cool thing I will nerd out to you.
I'll allow it.
The one of the things that Andy Weir is known for when it comes to his writing is factual science. In other words, you're going to get a lot of science told to you in these books if you read them. It is real science. It's not just stuff that he makes up. There's an interview he did just recently where there is one thing in the science that he fibs and adjusts to make the story work. And it is one super minor thing that is like you hear about it and you're like, yeah, okay, it makes sense that you would have to fudge
Hmm.
that for the story to make sense. Everything else completely true or like solid theoretical science.
Yeah.
Um, so it really takes the science and science fiction and goes, we're gonna do the
Yep.
science in the science fiction. And you guys know I like science,
Yes.
and I'm
See
really
the
into
previous
it.
conversation.
Read the previous conversation, and I think it's so cool. So of course, like I should not have been surprised when I picked up the book on Thursday night and like finished it by Saturday morning because I was like, yes, give me the science. Tell me how this story works. And then immediately turned around and went and saw the movie with my friends because I was like, I need to see this on the big screen. Um, it's great. It's fabulous. Um, so that's that. There's a lot of science told to you in the book if you read the book, but they do a good job of not letting it bog down the story.
Hmm.
Um, and then again, in the movie, they do a good job of like just allowing the science and trusting the audience to understand that science happens off screen. So they
Hmm.
really just go, science happens off screen. Here's the important pieces of information that you need to know in order to keep the story moving. Um, Great soundtrack, great music. Um, there's this commentary going around on the internet that I agree with. There's a whole like 20-second section where there's no sound at all.
Hmm.
Obviously, if you know anything about space, there's no sound in space because the sound waves can't travel. The commentary is that we have not seen a movie keep theaters that dead silent by the audience in years. Like people across the country have been saying, I haven't been in a theater that quiet, yet so full of people in years. People did not have their phones out. People
Yeah.
were not talking. People were like dead silent because they were so enraptured by how good this movie is. And it's so true. It's so well done. There's a lot of the main character um, teaches middle school science, which results in him having some fabulous t-shirts that he wears because he wears fun t-shirts to teach middle school students. So there's some great t-shirts throughout. These are just random little like details and things
Yeah.
that I'm like. He wears
These are
one that says
Emma likes film and is geeking out about the film.
I
Like,
am. I'm
like
gonna
the
talk about
filmmaking side of
it.
it. Like
Ah! Um, there is a favorite T-shirt amongst my friends and I that he wears that I'm going to mention, and it says "I had potential," and it's a picture of a ball sitting at the bottom of a hill.
Mm.
It is a science joke because
Mhm.
potential is a form of energy,
Yep.
and it's just the ball had rolled down the hill. And when it did, it had potential because it was rolling down the hill. Now it's sitting at the bottom of the hill and no longer has potential because it's no longer moving. It's a nerdy science joke t shirt. But for most of the scenes that shirt is in, you just see the phrase, I had potential. Meanwhile, this guy is in outer space, literally saving the planet. So it's great. It's
Nice.
the most random little attention to detail, like from the wardrobe department, of like, you guys have jokes that you're going to put in there even when no one else is really going to see it. So it's great. It's definitely proving to Hollywood that people want good new stories. That's
Mhm.
something I've seen a lot. Like, we
Yeah.
crave things that aren't just franchise. We like franchise content. We are fans here. We are,
Mhm.
um, you know, Star Wars fans here. We like all of that stuff, but at the same time, we're also like, I want to see something new and different and wonderful. Um,
Yeah.
and when we do get that, it does well. So,
Mhm.
spoiler-free review to
Yeah.
the best of my ability. Yay, go see Project Hail Mary.
Yep. Um, that reminded me, I didn't put this in the show notes as we transition to the other news topics, but we did get a trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day this past week.
Yeah.
And so people
Yeah.
can go check that out. We were discussing it over in the Discord, so I'm going to shout that out since that didn't make it into the show notes. But let's go to our next topic. And what's this? Cameron talks about Expedition 33. Shocked, I tell
Wow.
you. And
We're all
so,
talking about things that we love.
right. Can't like crazy. There's also a Marvel topic that we could have just transitioned into there, but I had the pictures in this order. So we're doing Expedition 33 first. And so it has finally been, we finally gotten the pre-order information for the Expedition 33 art book as it gets translated into English. This art book has existed for a while, but since the studio is in France, the art book has only been in French. And so this is being published by Udon and Pixin Love. And they are the ones that are going to be producing this. I have asked Emma not to look into any of this because we're going to talk price, and I want to see what she has to
I've
say.
not seen
And so,
anything.
but just to give a overview of it, is it's going to come in a standard and collector's edition. Both will feature concept art, design notes, and developer insights from Sandfall. But the blank dollar value collector's edition has some extra add-ons. These goodies include a golden cardboard slipcase in the colors of Alicia's mask, prints of the game's cast on textured paper, and cardboard portfolio with exclusive art. This exclusive large format hardcover volume gathers more than 300 pages, hundreds of previously unseen documents and illustrations used to create one of the most fascinating games in recent years, reads the description. This making of art book takes readers on a journey through the extraordinary human and creative adventure. And so it is currently available for pre-order with a release date sometime in Q4. I did see November in some places. And so, Emma, having not looked at this, but hearing that description of the collector's edition, how much do you think the collector's edition art book is?
Normally, I would say between 60 and $80, but with this, I'm gonna say like 120.
Okay, so you did get right in the middle, or right on both sides, I guess I should say. And so the collector's edition is $100, and so
Yeah.
it looks freaking fabulous. I know we just have the one image on there, but I will probably just be getting the regular edition because $100 is a lot.
Yeah.
But I obviously love Expedition 33. It was my game of the year for last year. I was very unbiased in my cheering for the Expedition 33 sweep at the Game Awards that I'm sad that they missed
Yep.
one award on, even though understand why they didn't get that one. And yeah, I am so happy, so in love with this. There's a handful of like shops not far from me that I'm hoping get this, and if they do, I might be on the lookout for the collector's edition if it ever goes on sale. Because I do really want that. I just do not want to pay $100 for it.
Yeah.
And so,
Which is fair.
yeah. And then, yeah, obviously the art of Expedition 33 is so cool and is a big part of, like, the vibes are a big part of why that game was so successful. And so, as someone who has the Last of Us art book is one, like, from the original collector's edition, for that game. Yeah, we love a good
That's my art book.
yes, I am the art book. We love a game with really engaging art, really compelling characters. Give me cool stories in my games, and yeah, and so I'm so excited that this is finally coming to English readers. The regular edition of the book, according to IGN's store, is $60, so a much more reasonable price to drop. But if this does drop in November, this might just be on my Christmas gift list, and I might just ask for the collector's edition there. And so, because then I won't have to buy it myself, and I don't feel as bad about dropping $100. So, but we'll see. So I did want to call this out for people. You can pre-order now, and so definitely do encourage people to go and show some awesome support or some support for an awesome looking product like this. And so, and then our fourth and final piece of news is we did get the announcement today that Wonder Man has been renewed for a season 2. I'm super excited about this. Emma, have you had a chance to watch Wonder Man yet?
Nope. I currently do not have a Disney Plus account, um, because I was budgeting and trying to save some money throughout the past couple of months, and I wasn't using
Something had
Disney
to go.
Plus, so
Yeah.
something had to go, and it was Disney Plus and
Yeah.
Hulu. So
Completely reasonable.
one day,
Um,
one day I
and
will
so,
catch up on that.
yeah. If there was ever a Marvel show for Emma, it is Wonder Man.
It is Wonder
And
Man.
so,
Yeah, it's from what I've seen of the promotional stuff.
yeah.
I think I would like it.
And so, for people that may not know, this stars Yahya, Yahya, Abdul Mateen II, and Ben Kingsley. They are both also slated to return. Abdul Mateen plays Simon Williams, who is the titular Wonder Man. And then Kingsley returns as Trevor Slattery, making that buck after like people hated his character in Iron Man 3, and he's like redeemed that character so much, and I love it for him. Between this and Shang-Chi, of him returning, yeah, and so this centers around Abdul Mateen's character trying to break into Hollywood as an actor. And so it centers around that. And then with the reboot of Wonder Man, he goes and begins to try to get that role. And then, of course, some superpower shenanigans occur. one of my favorite episodes of this. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I want you to eventually watch it, Emma. But Josh Gad is in this, and he plays himself. Like, he's not voicing.
I love that.
And he sings Snowman in Summer from Frozen in
Amazing.
this. Like,
I love it.
It's so good. And yeah, it's very fun. It is a show that I love because it treats superhero not as a genre, but as a setting. Whereas I feel like a lot of superhero media tends to fall into the same categories. And I would put this kind of similar to like WandaVision or Agatha All Along, where like, yes, those are superhero things, but for the most part, those series do not deal with like the normal superhero side of things. They definitely have their superpower fights and stuff like that, but like it's not the focus in the same way that it is in many other superhero properties. And so I'm really excited for this. Season 2 ends on a really season 1, sorry, ends on a very interesting like place. And so I'm very curious to if they're going to be able to keep the tone the same in terms of it being about this guy trying to make it in Hollywood. Like, is it going to become like open secret because of some stuff and things like that? Again, trying to be vague for people. If you've seen, you know, but try not to go into too many spoilers. And so I'm very curious to what this is going to look like and how we're going to see this progress. And then this also makes me excited because obviously Marvel has had problems with these past couple phases of like introducing a bunch of characters and then none of them have mattered again. And so I am hopeful that us getting this show that stars a black man as the lead, like I'm hoping that this is a sign that we're going to get to see more representation in Marvel as well. And then we'll get to see, hopefully this character come to matter, in a way that like no one like kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, where like people that cared about comics a lot knew who the Guardians were before James Gunn took them over. But I don't think anyone really knew about Wonder Man prior to this show. And then now this show has gotten to what?
It was like Ant-Man. Ant-Man was also that way.
Yeah, just like he was this minor character that has this really weird niche in Marvel Comics and then has gotten to be defined by an amazing performance and a really interesting show. And so I'm very hopeful that we get more Wonder Man and that we continue to get to see this. And I'm sure it's too late to put him in Doomsday, but like, it would be cool if we get to see him in Secret Wars, like, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and so, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there that I'm excited for. And this just getting another season makes me super excited. So,
yeah. The hype is real.
Yeah. And again, like, obviously this isn't the same, but kind of going to our conversation around Project Hail Mary. Like, it is nice to see a Marvel property that is not just, here is the character that you know, but now starring a different person. Like,
yeah.
Whereas like a lot of the Disney Plus shows have been like the passing of the torch shows. Like we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, talking about Sam Wilson going to become Captain America. We got Hawkeye, which is about Kate Bishop becoming Hawkeye. Like, there's been a lot of those, and for this to be such like a niche character, yeah. I love that it doesn't tonally feel like a lot of the other Marvel stuff too. So hopefully, it'll stick that landing, and we'll get some really cool stuff going forward. That is what we've got for the news for this week. And so I do want to say thank you to everyone who watched. As a reminder, you can find us next week back here with the full cast, hopefully, playing some Daggerheart going into our tier 4 play, going into potential last handful of episodes of the campaign as we wrap it all up. And
derail the episode next week, and I'll just go out and have a slumber party episode.
yes, yeah, beach episode. End of the world's coming, but hey, time for a beach episode.
Time for a
And
beach
so
episode.
nothing says
End of the world, like a
better
beach episode.
priorities. Yeah. You gotta live your best life there. And so
You gotta.
um, and then yeah, in 2 weeks we'll be back with another news episode. Still on the docket, of course, is Return of Book Club, trying to figure out all of that, what all that's going to look like. And then eventually I might try to go watch Project Hail Mary. I might wait till it goes on streaming, but once
Read
that
the book.
drops,
You'll like the book.
yeah, I definitely need to look into it. I had one of the book clubs that I'm in, the Madbird book club, does like themed months rather than like everyone read the same book. And one of them was like a book that was adapted into a film, and then vice versa, like a book that is based on an established like IP that then got a book made. And so I had thought about doing Project Hail Mary for that, but the library wait times did not cooperate. So now I need to decide if I'm going to actually read, or if I'm going to do something else, like read physical book read, or if I'm going to like tough it out and ebook it or what. But it's definitely on the list. Before we go into post-show chat, as a reminder, you can find us around the internet as 1geek411. Check out the Discord server. Shoot us an email at 1stgeek411@gmail.com. You can watch live on Twitch and YouTube Monday nights around 7:30 Central Time. And then you can find our videos over on YouTube. Check out all the VODs and all of that kind of stuff. It has been a great week. You can find me at my personal social media. Mine is Humar Whittle.
Mine is I am not prepared with an I in the prepared.
And we'll catch you next time. Roll some dice.
Rocky Grace save the stars.